So today what we're going to do is a little bit of upcycling. So as you can see, I have this two t-shirts, one that's black and one that's pink. As you can see, it's a Bazinga shirt for all the Sheldon fans out there. Comic-Con in San Diego was a blast. So what I want to do is I want to take this Bazinga shirt and turn it into a tank top. I want to make it more fun. It's a men's shirt size medium. So I want to add a little pink into it for it to be a little bit more feminine. So I just want to turn it into a tank top. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add some pink trim on the armhole and the neckline. Alright, so now I'm just going to cut right on my line. Definitely keep it straight. So we have one part of upcycling. So this will be our crop top. We are going to do I'm going to do some more stuff to it later, but right now I just really want to focus on my tank top. So now I just want to be able to make some bias strips. And the way we make our bias strips is they're usually about, it depends on how big you want to make them. So I want mine to be usually a quarter, so it's like Hong Kong bound, or you can do bias bound, so whatever size you use, you just have to either use 3 times the amount or 4 times the amount. So I'm going to use, about 1.25 inches just to be safe. And you can use 1.25 inches, you can use less, you can use more. So now we have that. I'm also going to pin these layers together once again. I just don't want, when I'm cutting things to move. I want to make my line as perfectly straight as possible while I'm cutting. So now we're ready to cut. So this will be one strip, and then I will actually open it. When I open it, cut it open. I can't say it's biased because it's actually not on the bias, but usually this would be your bias strip, and now I could actually take this and put this on use it as my neckline or whatever. So now I'm literally going to be cutting the last strip, and once I do this, I will grab the other shirt, and then we can start drawing our armholes and our necklines, figure out how we will want it. Totally up to you. You can see this is now a center line. Our fold line has now become a center line, so now I could figure out like, hey, I want this to be here, so my tank top will start right here. And I'm going to make my neckline a little bit lower. I'm just going to use mine to do my neckline, and I kind of want it to be a little wide, so I'm just going to shape it. I'm just going to go and reshape it, just so I'm happy. And then I could also see it that much clearer. This is my chalk roll. It's awesome. I love it. So as you can see now, I actually have a nice smooth shape of my neckline. So now the next thing I have to figure out is exactly how wide I want my tank top. Usually most tank tops go between like 1 inch, 2 inches, and the broad of the strap. And I also want my armhole a little bit more dropped than this because it comes from here to here, and I definitely want it a little bit more lower. Maybe I'll come in a little bit more. That's probably what I'll also do too, just to make it a little bit more feminine. So So all of this I can cut together except for my neckline, because if I cut this together, my back and my front will look exactly the same, and I kind of want my back to be exactly where it is. I'm happy with that back neckline. And there we go. And now we actually can cut all of this. And I don't know what you can do with the arms, but I'm sure you creative people out there will definitely find something to do with these arms. Maybe turn them to a bow tie. I don't know. For me right now, they're just scrap. Then you're like, oh, how is she going to tackle this neckline, right? So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to transfer this to the back. My creasing wheel. Just so I know, like, hey, this ends here. And then I'm going to let myself know that this is the Big Bang Theory logo. And then do the same thing on this side. Take your time. Don't worry if you get some, like, white on it. Or if the white line still shows, but don't forget your bias tape is going to cover that. We could figure out our back neckline, and we're going to do that once again with the French curve. Right, so now we can cut. No. And then, so once you cut on your line. I would say start from the center. This is the back. So maybe take it in half. And then literally start here. Get your pins. And pin. And just to see exactly what we're doing, this is going to be the contrast binding for your shirt. So now you can see that mark means my center back. Sorry, I know it's a little hard to see. There you go. So I just pinned on it, as you can see. So now I know I can sew up this seam and get rid of all of this excess, because it's like a lot of excess, so we definitely don't want. So I'm almost finished. I am now doing the last of the armholes, because the neckline armholes. So I'm pinning everything, so it just makes sewing that much smoother, and as you can see, it's already starting to look very, very cute. Remember this blue line I was telling you guys about? You definitely want to be able to sew there. Alright, so now you actually can cut. There you go. You can cut about 1/4 inch. There you go. And now you've actually gotten rid of your excess. So you can do whatever you want with these pieces. Totally up to you. For me right now, they're just scrap. So now that we know that we have that open, see, we have it, we cut it off. So now we could actually press it open. Let's see. Press it open. Put some pins there. Be careful, try not to pin yourself. And then I'm going to pin on the other side as well. Just try to stabilize it. That's pretty much what we're doing. Okay, and then when we sew, we're going to sew from there. So you sew for your side seam. And you're sewing literally 1/4 of an inch. So this is what it looks like. You could actually stop here if you want. Once again, I mean, this could be cute, but I don't like how thick. Like, for instance, this is really wide for me. So, but you know, once again, you're the designer. So I'm just going to go down and around. You could stop wherever you want. Like if you feel that you're in the middle of the process and you're like, hey, this looks great, like you're more than welcome to stop there. But what I want to do is I actually want to take this and make binding out of it, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is. So now we're almost done, and I will show you. So this is exactly what I wanted. I just have to finish this side. It's almost done. As you can see, so as it's actually a stitch in there. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. There's a stitch in there. And then when you look to the back, you see the stitching. So that's why stitching in a ditch is like so important. It makes your garment look that much better. And if you use the same color, nobody can see it, which is great. So I'm going to continue to do this for the other side as well. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to trim. Take your time. Don't rush. And just try to get as close as you can. But not too close because you don't want to cut the seam. 1/16 seam allowance should be sufficient. By 1/16 I mean like that much. So, just keep trimming till it looks clean. And then just do this all around the garment, like on your neckline and on your armhole. Bazinga! So you guys can create a shirt like this too. It's so fun. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it.